here we are. It's 2020, July, 11 months after Lover. I was still listening to Cornelia Street every single day. We all woke up last Thursday to a tweet, and it was like checking every letter of her Twitter handle, making sure she had the same amount of followers, making sure she still had the blue check mark. Guys, when Lover came out last year, I was like so ready for a new era. I listened to it while driving up the coast in California, which sounds amazing, and it was nice, but it was also like, it's stressful to listen to such an anticipated album while also like focusing on driving safely. And I always got jealous of people who had reaction videos and, you know, really were able to take in and remember that moment where they heard their new favorite songs for the first time. I was like, next time when she releases an album, it's probably not going to be for 2, 3, 4 more years because she's re-recording, but I will do it right with headphones and filming myself. And I did. And I was so shook the whole time, thinking so hard, enjoying it so much that you can't really tell, and it's an hour of this. Wow. Something about the fact that this was made all in quarantine, all of Folklore was made since March. So mind-blowing and like almost infuriating. I feel motivated by the release. Maybe that's my type 3. I'm confident in my new album ranking of hers, of Folklore at the top. I don't think it's the novelty. I've had a few days to sit with it, and I really think it's her best work. Folklore, Reputation, Red, 1989, Speak Now, Fearless, Lover, Debut. That is my album ranking. Again, love Lover. I'm the kind of person where this is my ideal Taylor Swift album. And I never could have imagined it would come this way and be this fantastic. I think the best music critic who writes about Taylor is Rob Sheffield for Rolling Stone, and in his review he perfectly articulates how Lover was like the last album of her 20s, really a cap on every aspect of her musical journey, and Folklore is the first album of her 30s. Whatever that means for her going forward, it's like the debut of a whole new artist, but still so Taylor Swift. The idea of this being like her indie record, I get it, but every time I see that, I'm like, oh yes, but this is still so Taylor Swift. It's still a 16, 17 track album of hard-hitting, beautifully written, ambitious songs. This is not her pretending to be the National. Like, how lucky are we that this was not some, 9 to 11 track release? I mean, we would have been lucky to get that. But she was so clear in her announcement of it, like, this is my 8th studio album. This is not a joke. This is not a random. This is not a fun little quarantine project that I'm sharing with you. This is my 8th studio album. I feel like it was very deliberate of her to say that, because people would have immediately found ways to sort of blow it off. I mean, they already were. The instrumentation, like the songwriting, the storytelling, it's everything I love about her songs. Like, my favorites of hers are like This Love, Holy Ground, State of Grace, New Year's Day, Call It What You Want, Enchanted, The Archer, like all of those really soft, sad songs of hers. That's my shit. So the fact that we have a whole new album of those songs, her voice on this album is unreal. So low. There's some secret riffs in here. Her voice has never sounded more strong and confident. Almost none of that like upper mixy, like I stay out too late. None of that. Love those moments. But the like This Love range, sad, beautiful, tragic range of her voice, so underrated, so powerful. I think that is probably what turned some people off from Cardigan, because that's one of the least popular songs, I think. And I think it's because they're not hearing her like belting. It just feels like in the music she has given herself so much more space. Listening to Peace, it's just such gorgeous, simple production, and she's just going for it lyrically. Where even is the melody in a good way? It's almost like stream of conscious, complete poetry. That's one of my top 3. If I had to pick a top 3 from the album, don't get me wrong, like there's not a bad song, but I would say the ones I connect with the most are The One, This Is Me Trying, and Peace. Other songs that I love, love, love are August, Epiphany, The Last Great American Dynasty. Since listening to Folklore a billion times over the weekend, I've yet to go back and listen to any of her old songs. Old as in previous. This is so different that I can hardly even imagine putting these songs on a playlist with her other songs. I'm sure I'll get past that. But I'm trying to say how unique and special this album is. This is like the Joni Mitchell level Taylor that I imagined myself listening to like in my 40s when Taylor was in her 50s and married with children. It's just amazing how well this all works. The fact that she has created these other characters that usually doesn't sound like something that would appeal to me in a singer that I really love. Like, I want to know that I'm relating to their experience, but in a way I know that I still am with her. This has given her so much freedom to be even more honest with the way she's writing. So like, I was so wrong about what that might sound like, happily. And I won't lie, I was a little nervous all of Thursday. The track listing, if you look at it without knowing the songs, it does sound a little bit like the albums that we all made up for ourselves when we were 12. Cardigan, My Tears Ricochet, Epiphany, Peace. And I say that because those are all masterpieces. This is my ideal Taylor Swift album. And I'm just enjoying this moment so much. I know it's not everyone's, but it's mine. I'm so happy. And I'm just so glad I have my authentic reaction on camera forever. I'm still enjoying the newness of it. I'm still discovering things with every listen. My Tears Ricochet took till Saturday to hit, a whole 2 days. I didn't understand what Epiphany was till like today. So I'm sure there are still things that are processing for me. I love the trilogy of Cardigan, August, and Betty. All three of those perspectives. That is so gorgeous, and I love how they are spread throughout the album. Ooh, this, I think, is the strongest ordering of the tracks of an album of hers, because I will say some of the ordering in the past really kind of bothers me. Like with Red and Lover especially. That's part of the reason why Reputation is my second favorite album of hers, because that's also perfectly ordered. Also just the memories I have of like that time, that era, and Call It What You Want. It's just, the ordering of this album is so good. And it's tough when it's a lot of mellow songs, but I really think she pulled it off. All lowercase, black and white. I think Folklore and Reputation being black and white and lowercase is no accident. They are like perfect bookends to Lover. I had problems downloading this at midnight when it came out, and I didn't get to listen to it till like 25 minutes later, and then I was in a bad mood, so I had to really like take some deep breaths to enjoy it. And then I press play on the one, and I hear, I'm doing good, I'm on some new, and I was like, what just happened? And I realized I downloaded the fucking clean version. So I had to go back, and I paid for it. I had to re-download all the explicit songs. This song really just like updates State of Grace, Holy Ground. Such a good opener. Another reason why this is such a Taylor Swift album. Track 1 being the one, 7, August at the 8th month. Like, come on. No one else. How, in such a short time, did she make something so detailed, cohesive? It sounds like she took years off, went and traveled the world and interviewed people. Years of soul searching and therapy, which is what isolation has felt like, so I guess it's fair. The photo shoot, the music video, the water, like, all of that happened between March and July. I'm annoyed that my instinct is jealousy and like rage that I haven't done that. But then my second instinct is how lucky we are. And to think that this past Saturday, the 25th, like I would have been in LA at Loverfest. For real. That's a whole question of like, what will she do when she can finally go on tour? Will she have another album? I mean, we might not have concerts for another couple years. Like, I don't know. Everyone thinks there will be a vaccine, like, January 1st. 3 albums in a row of stellar key changes. Getaway Car, Paper Rings, Betty. When I heard that key change in Betty, which was already just slapping so hard, a total highlight of the album for me is Illicit Affairs. The ending. You know damn well. That's one of those where sometimes I will scrub through Cornelia Street and go to the 125 mark just to hear the second verse. I think I'll be listening to the last minute and a half of Illicit Affairs a lot. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. All I want to do is talk about this album, so don't be shy. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Tiernan. I have a video about Lover, also another album that I love, and I talk about books on this channel, and you can find me online. All my socials are below. Have a good one. I'll talk to you guys soon. Stream. Peace. Good night.